heard people be saying, what your name is. You know who you are. Stop all that wishing on the stars.
WECU 1570 AM and W298BX 107.5 FM, Winterville, North Carolina.
Welcome, everyone, and thank you for joining me on another amazing episode of Ring Out Your Sponge, the radio edition. I'm your host, ReGina Smithwick. Tune in as we talk about empowerment, growth, and self-discovery. Let's uplift, motivate, and empower each other. Follow me on Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube under Ring Out Your Sponge. So as I always say, let's dive in. Today's topic is God is your source. Your job or your boss is not your source. God is. Great topic, right? So, God, timing, and planning. So, God has a plan and time for everything and everyone. Sometimes we try to take control and we mess up his amazing plans, right? We try to take that wheel. Remember, we talked about God. Jesus, take the wheel. Then he takes it, then you take it back. And then you wonder why things are not going your way, all right? So, trust in God's timing and guidance. Now, the reason why I like this topic so much is God is your source. A lot of times we go to these jobs, right? We're looking at the clock when we walk in, we're looking at the clock till we leave, and we can't stand coming back to this place, but we keep just punishing ourselves and keep going back to this place that we don't love. A lot of times I could tell you it's not your purpose. Because if it was your purpose, you wouldn't even think of it as a job. You'll think of it as a career. You'll think of it as a mission, right? It's not a job. Now, if you love what you do, keep rocking, do it. But if you're going to a job and you can't stand being there, but you're saying, I got to be here to pay the bills, God has something else for you. God has something else for you. Because remember, that's not your source. He's your source. He provides sources for you. So you got to trust and believe in that process. So God designed us to live in this amazing purpose that he has for everyone. Everyone's here for a reason. You're not born just to be here. Before you came out the womb, you had a purpose and a reason to be here. You just got to discover or figure out what it is. We often fear the unknown, and we fear for what other people think. A lot of things that we do in this world is because of other people. Because if we think about it, if you didn't care about other people, you'll probably do anything and everything. But because we care what other people think, it kind of makes us hesitate and stop. So it's crucial for us to follow God's purpose. And then don't think about how other people think about whatever that purpose is. Let me give you a little story. So it was this lawyer, right? Mother and father, proud, went to law school, passed the bar, did everything, had her own firm, the whole shebang. Well, however, she never was really happy in it. She did it because everyone said, well, that's the thing. You're a lawyer. That's an amazing, opportunity. Everyone brags about how she's a lawyer, but she wasn't happy and she had no joy. Her heart was on animals. She always loved animals. She always loved being around animals, and that gave her joy. So one day she decided to stand up for herself and decide not to worry what other people thought or what other people thought or think about what she was about to do. She quit the law firm as well as let it go. And she ended up going to be a vet tech in a veterinarian spot. And is just as happy as she ever been. Just as happy. Every morning she gets up, she pops out of bed because she loves to be around those animals and caring for animals and taking care of animals. She's living in the purpose that she has, right? It's not the money that everybody, you be a lawyer, of course everybody wants you to be, because it pays a lot of money. But if you're not happy in it, what's the purpose of the money if you can't even enjoy it because you're not even happy, right? So she found happiness and fulfillment in her new career, and she was following her passion and purpose, and she discovered the true joy in life. She figured it out. So let me explain how money works. Money is energy. Money is energy. It flows in and out like a river. It comes and it goes, right? Sometimes we have it, sometimes we don't. Sometimes we have more of it, sometimes we have less of it. It flows. It's energy, right? Focus on living in your purpose and the money will follow. Because when you live in a passion and purpose of something, you're going to do it 125,000%. Therefore, the money has to follow because you're putting in the effort in it, right? We got to do that first and let the money follow. Money has value. Money is a piece of paper, all right? It's actually a piece of paper. We give it value. Every country has its own value, right? When you go to different countries, it's different values, right? On money, right? Because it's not set in stone. It's based on man. Man made the value of this money. But if you always have purpose and you always have passion, that would not be a case of you worrying about that because you know it's going to come. So God has his ultimate plan because he's our provider. He's our provider. Your job is a channel, but God is the source. God provides through various channels. So sometimes there's another thing I want to talk about. A lot of times we stick and grab and hold on to dear life the stuff that was supposed to be let go a long time ago. But what we do is we scared because we don't know the unknown. We don't know what's going to happen if we let this go. But everything is pointing to you to let it go because God is telling you, will you please let go so I can give you this? You're not allowing me to do my job, but you're miserable here. And I'm telling you, if you trust me, trust the process, I'm going to give you something better over here. A lot of times we don't trust the process, and when we don't trust the process, that's what happens. We be miserable because we're somewhere we're not supposed to be. Everything is lessons in those valleys and peaks. Jobs give us lessons, just like life lessons, like anything that goes on in life. You go through stuff because you learn in those valleys and lessons. When that time is up, it's time to go. You don't have to retire from somewhere for being there 30 years just because you get a watch and they give you a retirement party and you go home. That's it. If God's saying, look, you've been here 5 years, your time is up here. I need you over here because there's somebody over here I need you to pour into. There's someone over here that I need you to teach or I need you to learn something. How many of us trust that? How many times you really think about it? How many times you've been nudged, poked at, shook up that it's time to go, but you're like, no, I got to pay this bill. But imagine if you listen to what he says and your bills would be paid with no effort if you just allow him to do his job, right? So I'm going to encourage you, trust God's plan. Seek his guidance in your life. Talk to him. Ask him, am I supposed to be here? He will tell you. If you listen, he will definitely tell you where you need to be or where you should not be. I had to learn that. I never really taught them. I just made decisions on me. I just say this is what I want to do. And I never put it in his hands and let him decide. And sometimes when he does, it doesn't look like you thought it's going to be. It's not where you thought it's going to be. You're going to be somewhere sometimes, take a little pit stop here, a little pit stop there. You're going to turn this street, you're going to do that. But you're eventually going to get where you need to go. Where you need to go. But he needs to teach you lessons in those valleys and those places, and you have to absorb those lessons. A lot of us are scared because we don't know what's going to happen. We are not going to know what's going to happen. That's the whole point of trusting. When you trust something, you don't see it. It's not tangible, right? You don't trust it. So it's important to pray and have faith and know that he has your back. And he's not going to, he's never going to leave you. He's never going to forsake you, right? So overcoming that fear and doubt, acknowledge the fear, step out of your comfort zone. Acknowledge it. Say, hey, fear, I feel you. I see what you're doing. Go ahead. It's a feeling. It's temporary. It's going to pass because I still got to do what I got to do. So I'm going to acknowledge you and know that you're here, and I'm going to go ahead and do what I got to do, right? So that's number one. Acknowledge it, but go ahead and step out that comfort zone. Growth only comes from coming out of the comfort zone. If you're comfortable, it's just like I told y'all a couple weeks ago. It's just like being in the jail cell with a door wide open. Comfort is like that. It'll put you in a jail cell and you're able to leave, but you're so comfortable you won't go. You don't want to live life like that. I'm in my 50s. Them days are over. I'm not living like that no more. It doesn't do anything for you or for anyone else. You're out here to give blessings to other people as well. You're out here to be able to teach other people as well. It's not just about you. You out here for other people. God has designed you to be out there for other people, but you can't go out there and do nothing because you're sitting here comfortable in this jail cell. So let's overcome those fears and those doubts. Trust God's plan, even if it's different from what the current plan is. It's not going to be designed the way, well, I'm going to do this job and then I'm going to do this job and then I'm going to be promoted over here and I'm going to be doing this. That's their plans. That's your company's plans. That ain't his plan. He may have you this for a year. And then out of nowhere, this job that you never thought of comes out and you end up being somewhere 3 levels of advance more than you thought you're going to be. I guarantee if you think about this, you're going to think about opportunities that you missed out on. You're going to think about propositions or things that was given to you and you just said, nah, I ain't, that's not for me. How do you know? How do you know if you don't try it? If you don't try it, you're never going to know. You want to live a fulfilled life. You want to live a life full of abundance, full of prosperity, full of joy and happiness. That's out of the comfort zone. If you're doing it now, you know what you're going to get. This is it. You ain't getting nothing else, right? Why not try something else? At least you're going to do more than what you're doing right now. So don't get scared. It's not just about money. It's about joy and fulfillment. You want to be happy. You want to live this life fulfilled. I encourage you today to pursue what God has in place for you in your heart. When you have something in your heart is burning, desire in your heart to do something, God is talking to you. That's when God's talking to you. That's it. Those feelings that you're feeling, it's not just you. God is talking to you and you're just annoying him. You just hanging up the phone and you're just not paying attention. He's like knocking on your head and says, I'm giving you your heart desire. What you're feeling is what I'm telling you should do. But you're so scared and you don't trust me, you're going to continue to do what you're doing and you're not going to live to your full potential. That's not what life is about. You don't want to be on your dying bed said, coulda, shoulda, woulda. You don't want to do that. You don't want to leave here and said, I could have been this, I could have done that. Think outside of the box and realize that God got your back. So I really encourage you to take that route. I really encourage you to understand that he is here for you. A lot of people at jobs try to play God with you. I've been at a job like that before. And I actually literally wrote a letter. I had a house note, brand new car, brand new house. And this person felt, well, I got you because you got bills. So you're gonna take whatever I give you. Oh, no. I know the God I serve. I sat there at that desk. I wrote my little letter and I slid on her desk. I said, as of today is my last day. I didn't know what was going to happen. I didn't know if I was going to get another job. I didn't know, but I said, you know what, God, you know my heart and you know that I'm not wrong with this. You know that I'm not being treated right. And guess what happened? When I went home, faith without works is dead. I went home and I worked 2 weeks sending out resumes. This is back in the day when you had to do fax machines. Sending out resumes, and guess what? I end up getting my job that I end up retiring from just 2 years ago. I worked at UPS for 20 years, and they hired me like that. UPS is not easy to get into, and I got that job like that because I trust him, because I knew that I was not supposed to be there. I should not have been treated that way. I didn't do anything wrong, but when people try to play God in these jobs, they're not your source. And I listened to what he did and what he said to me, and I took that leap of faith, and I was blessed with an amazing job that was provided for me and my family for 20 years. But then I said it was time to go from there. He talked to me again. He said, I need you to go live your purpose now. You did that. Now I need you to live your purpose. And guess where I'm at right now? On the radio, because I'm listening to what he's telling me to do. How about that? You too can do this. Not with the radio, but it could be something. Anything. Anything your heart desires. And if you're scared, do it part-time. Do it as a little hustle on the side until you build up, till you get some confidence, but do something that's in your passion and purpose. And eventually it will be what you do. But you can't do it unless you try, unless you get out there and do it. It's the only way you're going to find out. You can't find out by just doing research. You can't find out by Googling all day long. Sometimes you just got to put your feet in the water and just do it. And so I'm hoping that I'm encouraging you today. I'm hoping that you're seeing that this too can happen, because it's happened to me and it happens to millions of others. It's not just me. So I do want you to be able to enjoy that. So until next week, trust God. Don't live in fear. God is your source of all things. I love you all. This has been Ring Out Your Sponge Radio Edition. I'm your host, ReGina Smithwick. So until next Thursday at 7 p.m., same bat channel, same bat time, I will be back. And until then, trust the process. All right.